Hello everyone, it's Brother Poole, or you can just call me Jason. I teach Marketing 250 Web Business Creation online as a adjunct instructor. I've been doing it for 10 years and I absolutely love it. The class that I teach is Web Business Creation, and I've had thousands of students go through my course, and I love to do things like this to where I can share a little bit of information with them that hopefully will help them and anybody that watches this. Now, first off, if you're looking for a professional presentation, you'll want to stop now because that's not what this is. There's no PowerPoint. It's basically a conversation between me and, I guess, me. But hopefully you go and listen and learn something as well. All right, so let's talk about the job market and different things to look at. Now, you'll see me looking to the side a lot because that's where my notes are. All right, the first thing I want to talk about is the current state of digital marketing and jobs. Right now, as it stands, there are thousands upon thousands of jobs. And there is not a lot of people out there to fill them that are qualified. And so because of that, you can pretty much get a job if you have any experience at all. And if you've had no experience but take my class, which in that class, we spend, 6 weeks on Google Ads, and you have to create a campaign. You have to do the ads, the keywords, all of that, and then you have to run it using your own money and optimize it. Now, that alone will qualify you for some of these jobs. So you need to be looking, even if you're just looking for an entry-level job, there are a ton of them out there that are entry-level, part-time, flexible time, where you could be doing those while you're going to school and earn money that way. I know it sure beats working at Walmart. All right. Next, I'll give you an example of the market. For my current job, I was hiring a paid search manager to help, and it was a high-paying job. Okay, so it was a high-paying job, paid search manager. Now, my company would not allow me to put the salary range out there for privacy reasons. And so because of that, I didn't. It was just global paid search manager. Well, we had it up there, and in 3 months, so in 3 months, and this was on ZipRecruiter, Monster.com, Indeed.com. I put it on some of the university internal search engines, BYU Provo, BYU-Idaho, Ensign College, University of Utah. So this was a job that was out there, okay? This wasn't hidden. In 3 months, I had exactly 0 people apply. None. Nobody. And this was a high-paying job. Nobody applied, okay? So understand, it doesn't matter if you see that a few people have applied. They may not qualify like yourself, and you may get the job over them. So don't be discouraged because of that. Okay, next, let's see, I talked about that. All right, so for those that are new or haven't run into this, there oftentimes is really 2 main types of paid search. There is the agency side, and that's one which is exactly what it sounds like. There'll be an agency, they'll have a lot of customers, a lot of companies that work for them. You'll go in, they'll give you 4 or 5 accounts to start with and work and get that going, and then slowly you can add more accounts, go find your own, different things like that. And as you do that, your bonuses and that go up. But a lot of times they will start you at a fairly low base pay and then your money comes from your performance. Now, in some cases, people love it. In other cases, they can't stand it. I have not been someone that worked in an agency, so I don't know, but I have talked with a lot of people that have gone from agency life to the other type. The other type is often referred to as in-house. Now, in-house is you are working for a company, at the company, or remotely for the company, and all you're worried about is that company. You can now spend the time, dig in, use the advanced techniques to really help that company, instead of when you've got a whole bunch of companies you're trying to do, you may only have an hour or two to spend a week on that company. So now you can take all your knowledge, slow down, and just work hard and just do great for that one brand or one company that may have multiple brands, but doing something like that. So that's in-house. There is a benefit to working in an agency. You work with a lot of customers, so you deal with a variety of situations, and you learn a lot really quick. Now, you may not learn in depth, but you'll get a really good idea on how to do certain things really quick. So there's some benefit to doing that, but again, it's going to be a personal choice, but a lot of people don't like that. The other one, like I mentioned, is in-house, and that's what I do. So I work for Young Living Essential Oils, and with that, I oversee all paid search efforts, and I have another gentleman that sees all the paid social efforts, and then we just hired a new lady that is also going to help me with the paid search side. So there are a lot of different aspects of that, but just so you know, and as we look through it, you'll notice that internal recruiters, external recruiters, be careful here. There's going to be a lot of recruiters out there. They're going to contact you. Hey, I got this great job and you'll be great for it, and I'd like to have you as a client, and so on and so forth. Well, the thing is once they have you as a client, if they'll give you these jobs or help you to apply for them, whatever the case is, yes, they can give you some expert ideas, but if you find that job, you are not able to go talk to them. You have to let the agent do it. And the agent, if they can get you that job, then the company has to pay them like 20% of your annual salary as a finder's fee. So as you can imagine, companies do use them, but it's kind of a last resort situation. So be careful with those. And they're not all bad. There's some benefit to them, but just so you're aware of that. And they won't. Yeah. I'll leave it there. Number two, internal recruiters. Now these are the ones you want to work with. So Young Living has a number of internal recruiters, and so they're the ones going out trying to find people to fill jobs in the company. So I like to talk to internal recruiters, but not so much on the external recruiters. But that's up to you. As we go through this, I want you to pay attention because there's going to be a lot of job types out there. There's full-time, part-time, contract, temporary, all of that. And so be aware of what you're actually looking at. Let's see, with Indeed, okay, I'll show you that. Enter remote when as a place to work. Also, be aware that it doesn't right now. It does not matter if you don't meet the qualifications. Okay, still apply. Now it's got to be within reason. If they want 3 years experience and you've never done it, well, that's probably not a good idea. But if you've maybe done even this job, this class where you've worked on some, if they're requiring a year, apply, talk to them. Tell them that in can't even talk, in a university course that you were at, that you have learned a lot about Google Ads. You had to actually yourself create a campaign and keywords and ads and everything and run it with your own money and optimize it. That will impress a lot of them that you've done that. And that will usually get you past that 1-year requirement. A lot of them require bachelor's degrees. There's a big argument about whether you really need a degree or not in this field, because a lot of what you learn is not necessarily learned in university, and that's a good, valid point. However, on the other side, there's a lot of companies that require you to have some bachelor degree to be a management. And the way I look at that as well, when I've hired that way, is I want somebody that I know has accomplished something that's very hard and takes a long time to do. I want somebody that I know can do a good research paper, can do some good research. The people that can do a professional PowerPoint, or at least know how to do a good PowerPoint. Now, they may not be expert on these things, but these are the soft skills also that I would be looking for. Now, we're going to jump in here, and so I'm going to minimize my image. So we can take a look at we can take a look at this. Oh, I forgot to mention, you have to love my remote office, right? Everybody, hopefully, that's doing remote has found their own little corner as their office. Let me show you again. All right, there we go. So for my office, we have my camper. I'm in an RV trailer. It's wonderful. It's quiet. And I feel like I'm in the mountains, so it helps me to relax, even though I'm just parked in the backyard. But I really like it. So this is my office, and I hope you have found one for you as well. Okay. Now, I know we've been talking a lot, so what I'm going to do is I have found a lot of different jobs out there in these different areas, but I'm going to just show you a couple, okay, on each level, so you know that. The one thing I do want to show you, though, and I have it somewhere. I tried to put everything potentially in the same, in its own little one. So I don't see it. So we're just going to do this real quick. You have all the main search engines you can go to find jobs. Let's bring up my notes again. All right, so you have alumni career boards, company websites. Then you have Indeed.com, LinkedIn Jobs, Google Jobs, Monster.com, ZipRecruiter.com. There's a bunch of them, and I'm going to show you a couple of them right now. Now, the best jobs that you're going to find and have the most likelihood of getting are the ones that nobody knows about, right? So let's take a look at a couple of things. If we were to come and say BYU alumni, let's see, alumni job board. All right, now, this is interesting, and I don't know how many people are going to have this, but they have this top 50 in Utah, and it updates every month. So what this does is it tells me people that are hiring. Intermountain Healthcare, right? They're the most. They're hiring 973 jobs right now. Then University of Utah, Northrop Grumman, NICE, Adobe. Okay, so if it were me, one of the things I would do is I would go to the websites, look under careers, and see what they have. So down here, you're going to see Young Living, okay? I want to show you this as an example. So what you can do is just go to the website. Now it looks like this is actually going to take you directly, oh, it says forbidden. So let's come here. I don't know why it's doing that, but we'll come back to the website. Now, if we scroll to the bottom, most of them you can do this. You'll find one for careers. All right, now we're going to come down here and just look at the current opportunities. So I don't know why it's saying forbidden. They must have an issue with it right now. That's too bad. But if you went on here, you would find that there are two big senior SEO manager positions. One, they want somebody to speak Mandarin. The other one, they don't. And they also have two jobs that are analysts. So people that maybe have a year in SEO, then that they might fit more in the analyst position. Now, the other thing we can do, because I know we've got him somewhere because I did this. I think it might be, okay, here we go. This is Darren Bradley. He's the senior manager of SEO over there at Young Living. He's the one that you would report to, and he talks about 3 days ago how they have 3 more positions to fill. So maybe he filled one, but he's got an SEO manager, a couple of those senior ones we talked about, and an SEO analyst for APAC. And he may have one more, or else he might have filled it. So you could reach out to him and talk to him about it, because they're looking. So if you're looking for SEO type jobs, this might be something for you to do. But if you come here, let's look at Pluralsight, for example. One more here. Okay, so if we go to Pluralsight, careers, view the jobs. All right, okay. Let's say we want them in the U.S. Now, the one thing we can't do here looks, oh, we can, remote right there. Okay, so we want them to be remote. Now, we want in digital marketing. All right, so if we look here, they have all of these different digital marketing manager positions, a paid search analyst, lead. You have all these jobs that may or may not be posted somewhere else. So if you're interested, for example, in the senior manager of paid search, you could come here, learn about it, see what they're requiring, see how close you are to that, and then go ahead and apply. Now, I want to tell you something. Pluralsight reached out to me not long ago and asked me to consider coming over and being in a position that was better than what I have right now. However, what I did is I looked at their job description, and the experience you need was something like this. Okay, I think it was 4+ years experience of using Salesforce and Marketo. Well, I've used Salesforce a long time ago, but I really don't have that. So I thought a nice way would be is to send the recruiter back. It's an internal recruiter, and just say, thank you, it looks fun, but I don't have any of the experience with Salesforce, so I wouldn't be qualified, but thanks anyways. Well, he wrote back not long after that, hey, that is not a make or break. If you don't have the Salesforce stuff, that's fine. I'd still like to talk with you. Well, it says right here it was required. Well, these companies know how hard it is to find someone right now. And so they're willing to not necessarily stick with the experience here that you need. All right. What we're going to do, now this may take me a minute. So we talked about that. They may have, let's see if they have an actual job board. It looks like they have a job board right here. But they use Bridge, and so you actually have to be able to log in to see that. And we're not going to worry about that right now. All right, so we talked about Brad, and here is the, okay, alumni. All right, so Brain Labs. Let's talk about Brain Labs real quick. Brain Labs is a big agency, digital agency. They used to be Hennepin in the U.S. They were bought out, and now they're Brain Labs U.S. They also have an office over in the U.K., and they've started a new one as well in Singapore. A lot of this, I was talking to one of the executives there that I know, and he was telling me that he has all these open positions right now that he just can't fill. He can't find anybody to, oh, that's actually the wrong one. It's Brain Labs. Just going to put marketing. Marketing. Okay. Where are you? Okay, fine. Oh, that's why it did that to me. I'm sorry. Brain Labs Marketing. All right, so if we go to the careers here, they have a tremendous amount of jobs they need to fill. So let's go look at their open positions. Now, let's say only North America. These are all the positions right now in North America that are wide open, okay? And so if you are looking for anywhere from a VP level down to a paid media strategist or that, come look here. And this is just an example. Find other large agencies or large companies and go in and see what they have posted. That will definitely help you. So now what we're going to do, it might take me a moment, because I have these kind of, I apologize here, let me see. This one says mid-level. Where's an entry level? That one's not. Let's do it this way. I'm sorry, I've got these. Okay, well, let's do that. Let's look at LinkedIn first, okay? Now, what I've done here, you'll notice is, in this case, I'm typing in Google Ads entry level in quotes. For those that don't know, if you're just starting out, and most everybody here should know, but if you put something in quotes, you're telling the search engine that it has to be, that phrase has to be somewhere in it. So if we look at this, let's start over here. Here's a good entry-level job. Now this is on LinkedIn. The one thing about LinkedIn is they rarely show you the salaries. Okay, so a lot of this, if you look at qualifications, they want the certificates and that. Please go and get, it's free. You just have to study for it, and then you take the exam, the Google Ads certificate, at least the base one, and so you get Google Ads certified. If you, again, it's all free. If you miss it and you fail the certification test, wait a couple of days, you can take it again, and so on until you pass. And so, but it's good to have that. That will give you a leg up as well, even if you don't have a lot of experience. If you have the certifications, that matters. Okay, so here's another one. And if you look at the qualifications, oh, this one actually, well, this is a good example. Just because you have it listed here as a search for paid search entry level, that does not mean by any stretch that all the jobs you find are going to meet that. Okay, a lot of them, you'll still find a lot of different ones. I would also caution you, as you add these different filters, you may end up filtering something out that you'd like to see. Right now it says 34. If I come over here and say I only want entry level, it knocks it down to 4 results, okay? So I've already said entry level, so be careful, just be careful with that. So if we, okay, so there's one, here's another one. for entry level, okay? And if you look here, here's kind of what they're looking for. All right, so now I want to go from that point to, let's see, that's that one. Where it's, we are in LinkedIn. Okay, and this one is, let's just take a look at it and see what we have here. Where's the requirements? Right here. Okay, so this one here, let's see, that's the perks. That one actually tells you it's a 45 to 65 usually. And here's what they're looking for. So they're really not looking for a lot. It says 2 years of actual PPC experience. If you've even got 6 months, apply, you know. It doesn't matter. But here's one that you can look at. I want to, is this the one I wanted to show you? Well, here's another one, okay? So these are your mid-level jobs. It wants you to have 3 years of experience. If you have 2, you know, still apply. So you've got 3 years experience on that one. Over here on this one, they want 2 to 4. But what you've got to do is just kind of go through and look and find the ones that you want. So there's a lot more here. And then we are going to go to, let's see, what is this one hiding back here? Okay, so let's bring up, I'm sure there was a better way to do this. All right, let's see, right there. All right, so here is, these are senior level positions, okay? And so when you're looking here, you've got like 3 to 6 years is what that one wants. This one, it says, actually gives you the range, 75K to 115K. And you go back here and it says, here's what you want, at least 4 years. I imagine if you come with all of this and more that's interesting to them, you're going to find yourself more on that $115,000 raise. Now here's one where this one's actually for $150,000 a year, and if you look down here, it'll tell you what it wants. Here's another one for Oracle, very large company. And you can come down and look here. They want 10 years, but they're not giving a price. So I imagine if they're asking for that, it's probably a very good paying job. Now, if we look at this one, here's $100 to $140,000 for this one. And if you go down here, let's see. Again, they want 10 plus years. And here's one for $150 to $180,000. Okay, and as you go down, they only want 5 years, but they want all of this different things as well. So there are jobs out there for this, okay? Now, I didn't go through this time and find them, but I want you to be aware of something. You have companies out there that still think it's easy to find employees. They have not a clue what our market's like right now. And you may find jobs to where entry level is like $20,000. There's entry level jobs for $40,000 and even a couple for $50,000. That's real high. But entry level jobs, you should be around 30, 40, probably 40,000, 30, 40,000. If you're a mid-level, let's say you have 1 to 2 good years, and you've got a good solid plan and you have a bachelor's degree, or you're working on a bachelor's degree and you tell them, I'm working on my bachelor's degree, I'll have it in a year. Okay, that will work for most of them. Okay, so lost my train of thought here just a little bit. So, okay. So what's happening is you have some companies that think that they can still pay nothing. Okay, if you're mid-level, you should be more in the range of 70 to 90. So just watch. Sometimes it's even higher than that. But don't really, unless it's something you're loving on, don't take a job for 50 if you've got some good experience behind you. And if you have 5 to 10 years good solid experience, okay, there are jobs out there for that you should be paid at about 100,000 on up to maybe 120, 130,000. In rare cases, you'll find some that get paid a whole lot more, as we've shown here. So look out there and figure out what it is you're looking for. And realize a lot of people don't apply. So here's this one right here. It came out a week ago from 70 to 115. Nobody's even applied through LinkedIn. Another one right here, 88 to 126,000. Nobody's applied for it. That was 3 weeks ago. Okay, understand that they need people, and you kind of get to choose where you want. So that's LinkedIn. Let's go ahead and come over now to Indeed. That's the high level one. High level. All right, what's this one? Okay, let me find it. LinkedIn, we want Indeed. There we go, right here. Okay, I like Indeed. Okay, I like this better than anything else. Okay, I want to get one here so I can kind of play with it. Let me show you a little bit about what's out there. Okay. So if we leave that blank, so just pretty much anywhere in the U.S., and we came up here and said, I want a job in digital marketing. Right now, there are 45,668 job offers in LinkedIn for digital marketing. Okay, that's a lot. Now, let's say, though, I only want remote ones. So I'm going to come up here and type in remote. Okay. Now found jobs. Well, that drops it down to 9,244. So right now it's telling you that there's 9,244 jobs out there listed. Okay. So they need people. Okay. So don't just take a low paying job because you need a job. If you're qualified, let's look at something more. Here's one that's 50 to 54,000 a year. If we come down here to, where's the requirements? Okay, they want a bachelor's degree with some experience, 2 years, and a master's degree if you have it. Okay, so here's one kind of starting out, but you have to meet this for 50 to 54. Now, when you start seeing these big ranges, that usually means it's an agency or it's a recruiter. And what the agencies often do is they'll tell you kind of, okay, well, our guys just starting out usually make about 48,000. But could be less. But if they're any good, they'll be 48,000. And then if you've been there 10 years and you've really got everything down, you may eventually make it up to 90,000. Okay. So just watch those big, like here, 33,000 to 110,000. Okay. It says the business lead. If we come into this, I'll bet you it talks about it being an agency if you look at. And it also says there's contract part-time, so make sure this one would be a full-time job. And it's saying only 1 year experience, okay? So again, this is going to be one of those companies that you start and they'll tell you, oh yeah, you'll start at 33, but you'll be up really fast. They probably have their top person there making, 110,000. So again, just be cautious. And make sure you're applying for the kind of job that you really want. All right, so let's come back up here, though, really quick. So we're saying remote. We want remote. One of them filters that I do like is job type. Okay, you can come down and say full-time. So I only want to see full-time positions. The other one that is interesting is you'll notice it's 7,115 jobs, and I put remote up here. If I also select down here, you'll see remote, now it actually went down. So be careful, if you've already got remote, be careful of selecting another one that could actually drop it down. Now skills, you could come in, let's see, experience level, and it's telling you entry level, there's 1,070. Now understand, this is doing its best guess. If we do entry level, we're going to still find jobs that require, like a senior econ. That's not entry level. Okay, so you're going to see a lot of them that aren't, but you will find some in here that are entry level. Okay, so it's good to do that, but it's kind of up to you how you want to do it. You can do salary estimates. These I often do sometimes as well. So if I'm looking for a job, and this is just saying if you go to 50,000 and more, there's about 6,000 jobs. If you say you want 55 at least, it just drops. So this is kind of telling you how many jobs. Well, I've been in this field since 2002. So I've been in the field 19 years. And so I might say I want at least the 95,000 or more. And so it's going to try to find the different jobs that are willing to pay more about what I would like to be paid. Now, they have hourly jobs. I don't like hourly jobs. I want a salary. Hourly, it has kind of its own little issues. But again, it's up to you what you want to do. Here's one for 250,000 a year. That sounds great, right? And you could look through all of that. And that we found by coming up and selecting the dollar amount. Again, it doesn't always work, but it helps to narrow it down. Sometimes you can look at that and come back here. The point is that these jobs are everywhere, and don't trust the filters to always be correct, because they're not going to be. All right. So if we look at Indeed, we kind of looked at the entry-level jobs, right? So here's an entry-level job. Actually, it's 65, but a lot of them here, if we come to qualifications, 0 to 2 years. So in other words, they need somebody. If you took that Marketing 250, you qualify, okay? Now, you look at this, though, and say, okay, they also want me to understand this. So ask Uncle Google and find some different information on it. Read up on it. Learn about it. Understand it. So when you go to interview, you'll actually be able to explain what it is that you're looking for. All right, so this is some entry-level stuff. Let's see. I went to, let me look here. Okay, there's my entry level. Here's my mid-level. Now, Indeed, what I did over here is I went ahead and I told it I want a full-time job, I want it remote, and I wanted at least 75,000, and I want Google Ads to show up in here. I love Google Ads, and so I want a job what Google Ads is involved in, okay? So this is where I've been around for a while, okay? And so if I go look at this one, let's come back right here, okay? Here's one that they want 3 years of analytics, 2 years of AdWords and that, and they're telling you the job is 65 a year, okay? Be careful. I would look at that one, but I wouldn't go much lower than that. Here's another one for 70 to 85, and they want 3 years of experience with some other items. This one here, it doesn't have a price, but if you look down here, they want 3 years experience and some different things down here. So this may be one you check on and find out what the salary range is. Here's another one, $90,000 to $105,000 for Sears Home Services, and what they want is about 3 years of everything, right? And so that might be a good job to try for that one. Here's another one, $80,000 to $120,000. And if we come down and look at the requirements, they want 2 years, right? So the jobs are out there. Just be careful and don't take a low-paying job unless it's something that you really, really want to do. All right, and then the last one here that I did is the jobs that are more. Now, one of the things you can do is kind of use keywords. You could use manager maybe for the mid-level. I've used director, so digital marketing director. Now, digital marketing director is going to pull up different ones than paid search director. That's going to pull up different ones than search engine marketing director or Google Ads director, right? So all of those are kind of synonymous, but be careful because you can type in the different ones there. So when we look at this, it's saying there's 724 jobs at remote. But I want full-time jobs, and that's 610 of them. But you'll know 610 plus 12, 13, 14, 624 does not equal 742. So if I select these, I am going to lose some of these out here. So I'm just going to leave it. Now, as we, I kind of went over this. Let's see. Okay. All right, here's the example of do not do this. I'm opening Nobody's with Skyrocket Group, but this is a situation where they don't understand the state of the market. Okay, a couple years ago, 3-4 years ago, you might be able to get someone with 5 years experience between 50 and 75,000. Okay. That's not the case. If you've got a good 5 years of experience, don't go that low. Okay, here's one for 80 to 110, and they want 7 years experience, and then 5 and 5. So they want more experience, but you're looking at like 110,000. Here's another one that would fit you for 80 to 120,000. And this is, again, in Indeed.com. So here's one, Director of SEO. Let's say you're really good at SEO and you want a senior SEO position. Well, here's one for 90 to 130,000. Okay. And if you come down and look at, let's see, description, they're not even listing here what the requirements are. So what I would do is I would go ahead and go to their work. Their position, it says sticker mule. So you could, in this case, you can't actually click on it. It'll take you more about this, kind of give you the scores of how happy people are working there. So people are a little bit below average on enjoying working there. But it gives you that information, and then you can come over here and hit jobs. And then it'll show you the different jobs that they have open right now that are remote. And there's the Director of SEO. Let's see if by chance. So this one, unless I'm missing it, metrics, work performed, description. Yeah, so you're probably going to have to reach out to them to find out actually what it is they're looking for. Here's another one, okay, 130 to 150. Here's another 130 to 150. And here's a salary of 181,000. With 181,000, they want 8 years experience. They prefer it's in-house, not agency. Experienced leader, you go down. I mean, obviously for 101,000 or 181,000, they're looking for a rock star, okay? But they're out there. Okay, they are out there right now. So again, find the one that fits what it is you're looking at. All right, the last group that I have to go through is Google, the Google search engine jobs. So that one, it's probably this one. Yes. Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come in here and we're going to go back. All right, so what I did is I was just curious. I just did a search engine or a search for, let's go ahead and close that. Let's just go all the way back. Okay, so I was at Google and I thought, okay, I want to search for entry-level digital marketing jobs and I want them to be remote. So I did a search. And this popped up, and I've never really paid attention to it. I've seen it, but I haven't paid attention to it here, okay? This is their kind of little job search engine. Come down here to where it says more jobs, all right? And it's found 43 jobs, but this scrapes the internet, okay? So it looks for these everywhere. And you can say it found this one at Daily Remote. Here's one they found at Zippa, LinkedIn, Working Nomad. So you have LinkedIn, you have these jobs that it kind of finds everywhere. So this place is going to have some jobs that the other ones probably don't have listed, all right? So here, again, we can say if we want to get rid of entry level, okay, but we want the word remote. By remote, it automatically puts this in here saying it's a work from home position. Okay, then you don't have to worry about that. You can, again, come up to type and select full-time if you want to make sure that that's what you are looking for. All right, so here's a remote, but only 15 hours a week, even though I have full-time selected. Again, just be careful what you're looking at. But again, let's come over here to entry-level Google ad jobs. All right, here's one right here. If you're interested in Facebook marketing, even though it says Google, here's a good entry-level job that you can look at that really doesn't require a whole lot other than really knowing a lot about Facebook. And that. So if you like Facebook, here's a job you can kind of just walk into. This is an entry-level position for paid search. They call it a paid search associate or associate paid search. If you come down and look at the qualifications, there really isn't anything here about that you have to have full experience. But they do want you to have some familiarity with these different ones. So you do some searches, go get your free Google certification, and then you're all ready to go for this one. Here's another one for digital marketing inside sales. Now this one's going to be careful because this one's an inside sales position. So you've got to decide if that's kind of what you're looking for. Here's digital marketing. It is entry level. If we come down here and look at the requirements, okay, again, they just want you to be understanding what those are, but there's no real requirement here. So you could reach out to them, kind of find out what it's worth, and then again, here's a one for social. Okay, so these are definitely there. Now let's look at the mid-level. And what I did here is I just put the word manager in there, okay, so that it may give me more of those. And if you want, you could come up here to type and select full-time, which I've actually already done on this search. So when we do that, okay, here's one that I'm just looking for mid-level digital marketing. It gives me a list that's going to be different than if I put search marketing or any of that. This one wants about 3 years of experience, okay, and so it's good mid-level, but again, it doesn't really give you what the pay is going to be. Here's another paid search manager. They want about 3 years of experience. Another one here that tells you what they're looking for. And again, with this one, they're just looking at 1 to 2 years experience. And then here's another one, a good mid-level position that wants 1 to 2 years experience. Okay, so again, look to see what's out there. You may find the job you're looking for not on one of the main search engines. You may find it somewhere else. And the last one here I want to show you is, and I know this is going long, but I really want to share this information with you. Director of Paid Search. So these are going to be your experience positions. And so you have a digital marketing manager. Okay, if you look, they want at least 5 years and 3 years down here. In this one, they want 7 to 8 years experience. All right, a director of digital marketing. That's going to tell you what it is that you would be doing. So make sure to read through that. Here's another one that wants 5+ years of experience plus some other items. Here's one that wants, did I do the same one here? I may have done the same one. Yep, let's ignore that. Maybe I did it. Oh, no, this is different. Okay, here they want 7 years and 4 years, but they are giving a salary range. So this one, the salary range they're giving is $150,000 to $200,000. And that's if you have 7 years experience and team leadership experience and these other items, you qualify for this position. Now, you got to see if they'll give it to you, but you would qualify for something like that. Here's another good leadership position. They want 7 to 8 years. And then again with this one here, they want 5 years plus. So what you have to do, a lot of these that don't have the salary, is I would call them up. If I can get a hold of them, I do some research, find out where they're from. Here you can see Zeta Global. If you look through this, you might go ahead and find where they actually are found. Now there is Zeta Global here, tells you a little bit about it, and this is a PR statement they put out to try to get information. But this tell you a little bit more. Okay, here's Zeta Global, and it just tells you more about what they do. So let's see, if I click Zeta Global, takes me over here, and I'll bet you if we can find the link, that we can probably find a link back to the company. Right there, Zeta Global. So see, just kind of going through, found it. Okay, now we found where they are. We can go to About. Let's go to Contact Us. They have a phone number here. If it were me, I would go ahead and give them a call, ask if they have internal recruiters, or if there's an HR department, I can ask and talk about a specific job that I'm interested in. What I would do is they're going to probably tell you, oh, well, you go online, fill out the application and that. If it were me and I was interested in it but didn't know salary, I would probably say, I would be glad to do that, but if what I'm looking for is not even in the pay range, then I don't want to waste either of our times. And then they may get you to somebody, and you would just ask somebody, let's say you're mid-level, say you're really looking for something in $70,000 to $80,000 range. Does that fit your budget? And they may come back and say, oh yeah, that works fine. So then that means probably at the end of the process, you might ask for 90. But they may come back, oh, I'm sorry, that's out of the range. We couldn't do anything. Well, let's say you already had a job, but it was only 40,000, right? And you're asking for 70 to 80. So I might ask, okay, I get that. If I may ask, what is kind of the range you're looking for? What is more of the top of the range? And they may come back and say, it's 65 is the highest we could go. Well, you've got a job for 40,000, so 65 sounds pretty good. And so you could look again and say, I really like this position. I like the company. I'm really interested in it. Of course, you better have researched the company, have some idea about it. And then say, I would still be interested in talking to somebody at that $65,000 level. Is there somebody that I could talk to more about? You might get one there. Or they may say, go ahead and go online and fill everything out. And so you would do that as well. But that way, you can kind of work your way in sometimes and find out if you're even in the right salary range. All right, now there are others like Monster.com. I don't like Monster.com because of the fact I'm searching for SEO jobs in the U.S., right? And I come over here. The only filter they have is this, or you can say remote jobs only. And then you really have no idea on these. But you can kind of look through here, look at the different jobs. Is this the one that has? Might be this other one. And then, so here's another example of it where I did search engine marketing, okay? Thousands of jobs found. Make sure I've selected remote, okay? Now this one, I'm fairly sure, I thought, there was a job here that actually was a company out of Hawaii. So maybe you can hope that someday they'll fly you back to the home office. But anyways, bunch of jobs here. Here's a business development manager, but that may not be what you're looking for. A paid social media specialist, okay? This might be something you would look into more. SEM specialist, SEM paid media. So as you look down through here, you're going to find jobs. Here's a senior job, so odds are that it's going to pay more. But you have all these different jobs out here. Point is, there are thousands of jobs out there right now, and there's very few of us or few people that are actually looking for jobs. And a lot of times, to be honest, if you want a job, you already have a job. Okay, if you want a job in search engine marketing, in digital marketing, in SEO, in paid social, in paid search, they're there. Entry level. Just walk in and say, I would like some money, right? Go in and get that job. And so what we find, and I was talking to that executive of Brain Labs with all those jobs, he was saying, and we got in this conversation because I was looking for one. I said, there really isn't anybody out there that is looking for a job. Because if you look for a job, you're going to get one. What we have to do is go find people that work for another company and figure out if we can poach them away and get them to come work for us, right? So that's kind of the way this industry works. So I wanted just to be able to share this information with you so that you have this opportunity to go out and get a job, right? They're everywhere. So just be aware of that. I really hope this helped you, and I want you to make sure to have a wonderful day. All right, well, it's good talking with you. We'll see you. Bye.